What is up guys, it's Keds here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a kickoff tutorial. Now for each kickoff spawn there are 5 different spawns, but there's like 3 different types. There's this straight on spawn, there's the slight diagonal, then there's the full diagonal. So I'm just going to go through each one, how to do it without messing it up basically, and different strategies that you can bring into play. So for the first one, this is nice and simple. This kickoff only comes in 1v1 and it's straight onto the ball. What you want to do is you want to look at my controller overlay and you boost towards that boost and you diagonal flip. Wasn't the greatest example. Let's cycle it back through to that spawn. So you want to stay nice and on those pads like that. For this tutorial I'm going to turn off my unlimited boost actually. So if you watch my boost count as well, you'll notice that I have quite a lot of boost left at the end of the kickoff. That's just purely because the amount of pads you pick up, because you don't want to boost while you're supersonic. So that's all you need to do on that kickoff. It's a good one to practice though, because you want to land somewhere here, somewhere in this region after your flip, and then you want to jump, and then you want to flip as you hit the ball like that. But you don't want to obviously jump too late because the ball will just go over you. You don't want to jump too early because they'll just, like, if you jump too early on a kickoff, what tends to happen is you kind of just do this and just go around the ball. So that's not exactly what you want to do. But that kickoff, that's all there really is to it. Alright, so this is just a quick thing while I'm editing. So some people will front flip to the ball. If you're really uncomfortable diagonal flipping, front flipping is fine, but notice how it's so much slower. And also, you've got to make sure when you front flip, it's just kind of a basic thing with front flips. You don't want to boost all the way through your front flip, because then look how I just come off the ground slightly, like this. If you boost all the way through it, then it's really not good. You want to, as soon as you do your second jump, you want to let go. Maybe a little bit after, like that. Because obviously, if you think about it, in a front flip, your car's doing this. So if you're boosting this way, you're slowing yourself down. So yeah, I just thought I'd add that in because I didn't really mention it. That kind of applies for all kickoffs, to be honest. So you really want to try and do diagonal kickoffs. Try and steer clear of wave dash kickoffs as well, just because it's kind of easy to mess up and you don't have much boost left after. So I really recommend doing a diagonal flip or a speed flip. The reason I say diagonal over a front flip is because it's the only flip where you can boost all the way through it and get supersonic. Now, if you know the speed flip, then obviously do that. It's kind of just that motion. But if you don't know the speed flip, then diagonal flips will do just fine, like that. And I'm actually, my muscle memory is so used to just doing a speed flip instead of a diagonal that I actually can't just diagonal anymore, like that. Something like that. It doesn't really make too much of a difference. Obviously, if you're like Grand Champ level, then maybe start to add the speed flips in. It might make a bit of a difference, but until then, you don't really need to. So if you're anything below Grand Champ, diagonals will do just fine. Obviously, if you happen to know the speed flip already, then feel free to use it. Now, the next kickoff we're going to go on to is the slight diagonal. So with this, there's a couple of variations you can do. The one that I tend to go with is this. I have 18 boosts at the end of the kickoff, which is good. Get there nice and quick. But what some people do is they kind of go like this, which also works perfectly fine. But I find I'm more consistent the other way. That way does work though. I'm pretty sure in terms of speed, this way is slightly faster, but it doesn't really make much of a difference. So what you want to do is you want to boost and drive. As soon as you pick up this pad, you want to diagonal flip, and then you'll land somewhere here, and then same old story. So as soon as you touch the boost, you flip, and that should set you up to just land in line with the ball. Obviously with kickoffs, it doesn't like feel natural straight away if it's not what you're used to. So be prepared. Kickoffs take a lot of time to master. And this is coming from someone that in 1v1 literally will score probably 3 or 4 kickoff goals a game. Purely because my rank in 1v1, which is like champ 3, I just tend to win the kickoffs. Now, with this as well, there's a couple of variants you can do. You can do that and fake it and go up onto this wall and someone like passes it or something. Like, you can do that. Obviously, don't do that in 1v1, but in 2s and 3s, if you're communicating with your team, maybe use the faking quick chat. Then feel free to do that strategy. Apart from that, if you're not the kickoff taker, you'll most likely be here or on the opposite side. So if you're back here, you want to just go like this and just cheat up. Now, a lot of people sometimes go to the side boost, but I find it's not as successful because if you land here and the ball stops dead center, they've literally just got a free shot on you on there. So I find cheating up is the best bet, but personal preference, if you really don't like cheating up, then don't. There's also a chance you'll be at this spawn with your teammate next to you if they're going for it, in which case I normally just flip behind them like this. I make sure not to boost so I don't bump them. But yeah, whatever you do, I see people do stuff like this on kickoffs and go back into their net. Some people even do this and go off to the side boost, like, I don't know why. You want to make sure that you're doing either of cheating up, following your teammate, or going off to the side boost. But then one thing to note with going for the side boost is that you want to land with your car facing towards your net. And the reason being is because if they get the free shot, that's giving you the best chance to get back quickly. Because if you think about it, if you go to the side boost and you land facing this way and they then shoot, you've got a lot further to travel before you save it. So that's kind of it for the like slight diagonal kickoffs. There's obviously the opportunity to fake. If you're faking, what I recommend you do as the last man back, I'd only fake it if it's a spawn where one person's here and one person's on the diagonal. But what I do when I fake is I tend to go around like this and then come back. Now the reason being is because the car at the back of the other team is going to see you going towards the boost, which means obviously it doesn't look like you're faking. Because if you just sit here, what I notice at the higher ranks, when I just sit in net when I'm faking, my teammate or the opponent even kind of has an idea that I'm faking, so they make it really awkward and like hit the ball high and stuff. Especially me on kickoffs. If I notice that someone's faking, just say someone's faking and they've gone that side, what I tend to do if I notice is I hit it that way, because it makes it so much harder for them to get the pass off. Which is why faking the fake is kind of like a good move. Then going on to the other kickoff spawn, there's quite a lot you can do with this one. What I tend to do is land on that side of the ball. You've got to make sure you're goal side. That's the trick with these kickoffs. You want to land like this in the same area that I showed. What you don't want to do is this. Now I'll get back to it later because you can do it, but not every time. So what you want to do is you want to just side flip inward, diagonal flip inward, sorry. So you drive, get this boost, diagonal flip, and you land here, and then you just same old, just like this. There's a couple of variations you can do as well. So as the kickoff taker, if you know the speed flip, then something you can do is what I said earlier, and go around the ball and hit it around them. Obviously don't do it every time because they're going to pick up on it. Because if I notice someone can speed flip, I tend to just go here and land here, and that way it just completely blocks the speed flip. Another option you've got is losing it to the back corner. So you want to land somewhere here, but I normally just flip quite late like that, and then that way when they go and hit the ball, it kind of theoretically rolls into their your back corner, even to your teammate. Obviously I wouldn't do this solo queuing. This one's not really a solo queue strat, unless your teammate says need boost, in which case you're pretty confident they're going to go for the boost, right? But if you're in comms with your teammate, maybe you could just say back left or back right, and that way that's how you do it. That's how you lose a kickoff deliberately. You basically just let them hit all of the ball, and you just make sure it doesn't go in. That's pretty much how you do it. Because obviously if you're in the back corner, what's going to happen is your teammate is just going to go to the back boost, and it's just going to roll to them. Then a more advanced strategy of what you can do is, it's this thing called the Spanish kickoff. I don't know if anyone's ever like heard of it, or I know some people will have heard of it, but some people won't. So if you ever hear a pro player referring to a Spanish kickoff, so it's only on the diagonal spawn to my knowledge. And what you do is you go past the ball and you demo the player cheating up, and then what happens is the player that's gone for the kickoff will kind of go for it and hit it straight towards your net, because obviously that's how you're meant to do a kickoff. And then that literally just gives your teammate a free shot at the empty net like that, because the last man will have been demoed, right? So it's a way to get a cheap kickoff goal, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's kind of like the fake. It's one that you bring out every now and again, but I wouldn't recommend bringing it out too often. Strategies as well that you can do. So there's obviously the double diagonal spawn, where just say your teammate's over there and they're going. You've got two options. You either half flip into this boost, or if you don't know how to half flip, then obviously just back flip is fine. It doesn't make a difference. Or what you can do is, and this is what I do, is I just side flip inwards like this, and that way I'm cheating up, so in case the ball just stops dead, then at least I'm there. That's kind of it for like the specific kickoffs. Just some general rules of thumb for kickoffs to summarize it. So what you want to do, you want to jump in this region here, and you want to hit the ball as centrally as possible. Now, if you're not good at this, just practice over and over. Just try and hit the ball dead center. Now, another thing when you're cheating up is that you don't want to be too close, because obviously if you're too close and someone else just goes like this, you're done for. They'll just score. But granted, you don't want to be too far away, because if it stops dead, then if you're too far away, they can still do it. You want to just make sure you get a good distance, that you're not too close, not too far away. And then also, if you're cheating up, your teammate is not going to have much boost after the kickoff, which means this boost here is theirs. The diagonal spawn is theirs. Obviously, if you know your teammate isn't going to get to the boost first and the opponent is, then by all means, if it's safe, then steal it. But you've also got to make sure when doing that the ball's not like rolling towards your net or something, because if you go for the boost and do that, then you've got to obviously get back. And another thing, so sometimes on the kickoffs it like goes into your back corner. Obviously follow it to the boost. Take like, if it goes into your back corner, get the boost. If I remembered how to use backies mod like that. You don't want to go off your side boost, because by the time you get it, they'll probably shoot on that. So if it goes straight over your head towards the backboard, then your best bet, if you cheated up, obviously you won't have 55 boost. Let's drain my boost. Hold on. So you'll probably have something like this amount of boost, and then your best bet is to just turn around and go to net, because 12 boost is literally enough. Like, look, you can save any shot with 12 boost. you just want to make sure that you can save any shot with 12 boost. And if you didn't know that, just look how much boost I use. Against a crossbar, I literally use 9 boost. Like, you've got to just remember that that's all you need. Because all you need to do, if they shoot, chances are, unless it's a super good shot, it's savable. And then you just tend to hit it towards the corner. And that way you can get the ball and the boost quite safely. So yeah, that kind of does it. So to summarize, when you're taking a kickoff, you want to be goal side of the ball. You want to hit it as centrally as possible. And once you've done your kickoff, you want to just get out the way and go for the mid boost. And then if you're the non-kickoff taker, so like cheating up, you either want to go to the side boost, but make sure you land facing your own net, or you want to cheat up, but then don't steal your teammate's boost. Make sure you don't go for your back boost if it's not safe. Your first priority is just making sure they can't score an empty net. So if you can beat them to the ball, beat them. If you can't, just go back to net. And then obviously if you're in comms with your teammate, then you can try some of the strats I was saying earlier, like faking the fake. You can try a Spanish kickoff, but I wouldn't recommend it. And yeah, that just about does it, to be honest. So if you find this tutorial useful, then please feel free to drop a like and subscribe if you are new, and I'll be back doing daily content. I will either be doing, so for every day until about the end of January, I will be doing either a video on here or a stream on Twitch every day. So make sure you check out for that. The link to my Twitch is in the description. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.